Hey guys, it's Jill for Harvey and Jill's Not So Perfect Reviews. Today we are talking about the woman that is on everyone's lips. Of course, I'm talking about Wonder Woman. I'm super excited to talk about this movie because I've been waiting for it. I've been so excited, and she's finally here. So that's just amazing. So finally got to see it yesterday. Before we go in, just wanted to remind you of our new format, which is that we'll talk about three things that we liked, three things that we didn't like, which is going to be kind of hard this time because, yeah, this movie was pretty awesome. So it's hard to find fault with it, to be honest. There will be major spoilers, so please, if you haven't seen the movie, run far away. Go see the movie, come back, and leave me your comments. Tell me what you thought of the movie because I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. So, first of all, we're just gonna talk about overall impression. As I said, wonderful movie. Like, really, you cannot describe Wonder Woman better than to call her wonderful, because that's what she is. She's just so cool. From the tone, from the lighting, the visuals, the performances, the music, it really is a wonderful experience, especially as a woman and especially as a comic book fan, because this is what we've been waiting for. So, super happy about that. Super excited and thankful. Patty Jenkins, you did a wonderful job. So, let's just get into some specifics as to what I loved and what I didn't quite like as well. So, first off, we have I thought it was really smart that they changed the timeline of Wonder Woman, which usually starts in World War II because that's when she came out. So she is a World War II hero, much like Captain America. But she is also very much, a warrior of the world. So they decided instead of doing a timeline that's already kind of been covered by Marvel, they were going to go farther back and do World War One instead. Now, why is this such a smart idea? It's because Wonder Woman and the Amazons, their main objective is to, basically combat Ares. And to have the first Great War, one of like the most, probably the deadliest war in the world, be happening when Diana leaves Themyscira for the first time to journey into the world of men to stop Ares. It makes sense. It makes a huge amount of sense. So kudos for the planning teams and the writers who thought this would be a good idea because it was. It was very smart. So number two, I love that there were all these kind of blurred lines as to who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. And I'm not saying like it was really blurred, but the fact that they pointed out that even the good guys, people like Steve Trevor and the Americans and the Allies, they have done some kind of shady shit. Point in case would be when Chief, who is one of Steve's and Diana's kind of crew, he is Native American, he's a smuggler, and yes, he is working for the Allies, but he's mostly there to make a profit. And when Diana kind of asks him about this, he says, while I don't want this stuff to be happening, and that's why I'm helping, at the same time, I have to think about my people who have already been decimated. And, right now we're just barely staying afloat as it is. And she starts asking about his people and like what happened to them, who attacked them, who kind of, have put them in this position. And he points to Steve Trevor and he's like, his people are what happened to my people. And I think it's very poignant. It's just a small moment, but it's just so cool. Finally, what I loved about this movie is Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, she makes this movie, and I mean, it's not just her performance because I mean, she does do a great, job at the performance. It's the writing as well. They did a great job making her idealistic, but still a badass in so many respects. So, kudos to both, the writers, Patty Jenkins, and of course Gal Gadot, who made me fall in love with her. Like you want to be her, you want to be her best friend, you want to be her lover, you just want to be with her. She is just so amazing. So, what few things did I not like about this movie? That's a hard thing to talk about because very few things that I didn't like. I mean, the music was great. I loved like the coloring of it. It was a lot more brighter than the normal grim darks that you expect from the DCEU. Loved that. So, what didn't I like? I mostly my main problem with this film was that it didn't give me enough of certain things. So, first of all, I wanted a backstory for Dr. Poison. She seemed like a really kind of interesting villain. I mean, like this thing going on with her face. You figure it happened during some chemical, either a chemical attack or an accident in her lab, but you don't know. So, like, I want to know what happened to her. Why is she working for the German? Is like, what is her deal? I want to know. So, yeah, I want to know. I wish there was a bit more depth to the villains, and even Ares and Ludwig, who is I think it's Ludwig. Man, I am terrible at German names, and I have a German background. This is really kind of sad. Anyway, so yeah, better backstories, or at least more fleshed out backstories for your villains. Number two, which kind of continues off of that point, I want to see more Amazons. Or at least I want to know more about Amazons. When we go to Themyscira at the beginning of it, it's great. You see all these different types of women, and they are different races, different colors, and they're different sizes. Even like the warriors, you have like big beefy women, you've got like more small wayfish or like serpentine kind of women who work fast. It's great. But I wanted to know more about them. Like all we really we get, yeah, several of them have speaking roles, but we don't learn their names or some of their I guess what's the word I'm looking for, relationships to one another. There's one moment which I will talk about in a minute, where you have like you kind of wonder, oh, are these two women together? And you never really know about that. All the best characterization of the Amazons, besides Diana, of course, is Antiope, which I know I'm pronouncing incorrectly, sorry, and Hippolyta. But I wanted to learn more about them. I know there's Artemis, there's a bunch of other ones that I want to know about, but we don't really get that, unfortunately. So give me more Amazons. Even though Hippolyta had told Diana that if she leaves, she could never come back, I really hope that isn't the case because I want to see more Amazons. More Amazons. Final note of what I didn't like. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying why I didn't like it. I completely understood why they did it, which is the deaths of Antiope and of Steve Trevor himself. So Antiope, like when you kind of figured it was going to happen, especially when you notice that her helmet has the Wonder Woman tiara on it, and nobody else has it. So you're kind of wondering, how does she get that tiara? Why does she have it? And you might think, oh, maybe Antiope gives it to her. No, it's because she did. And I mean, her mother gives it to her, which is, it's quite a lovely gesture. And it makes me sad that such a cool character had to be killed off. It does feel a little bit like fridging, but it feels not as bad, partially just because it is, it's not so much of a romantic lead being killed off, but, it's this mentor kind of character. You kind of saw it coming a mile away, but you understand why it needs to show that while these Amazons, they are eternally young, they are amazing fighters, they can still be killed. So I understand why they did it. As for Steve Trevor being killed, once again, feels a bit like fridging, but at the same time, it is by his actions that he dies. It is a self-sacrifice that he does, and it makes sense because otherwise you'd be asking in like the movies that take place in modern times, where is he? Did he die of natural causes? Does he have like a Peggy Carter kind of symptom where he is, he has Alzheimer's and doesn't remember her? And I think they just didn't want to go down that road. So I understand why they did it. At the same time, it kind of annoyed me that he died in a very similar way as to how Steve Rogers, quote unquote, died in the first Avenger, where he's in a plane and he basically self-sacrifices himself, blowing up the plane with all this horrible poison gas, far away from anyone else, so no one else is hurt. And I don't know, there was just too many parallels. Guy named Steve, played by a guy named Chris, in a plane in like a World War situation, self-sacrificing himself. It just, yeah, I'd seen this scene before, and I kind of wish they maybe done something a little different. Um, at the same time, I kind of hope that maybe they'll bring him back because this is comics. People come back to life all the freaking time. Whether it be a kind of Winter Soldier situation where maybe he parachuted out before the thing exploded, but was badly injured and was captured by the bad guys, or somebody has been put into cryo freeze. Who knows? Maybe he'll be a clone. Maybe he'll be some weird construction from like Apocalypse and the New Gods, or who knows. We're going to be dealing with some really cool stuff as we get into Justice League. So anything is really possible with possibly bringing back Steve Trevor, which I kind of hope they do because Diana and Steve are just too cute. They're like one of my favorite couples right now. I love them together. So cute. Um, Overall, like, while I am, giving these quote unquote critiques, it's still an amazing movie. I understand why they did everything that they did, even holding back stuff from me, like more Amazons or more time with Dr. Poison, because they don't have time. The movie was 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and I figure if they went any longer, most people would not maybe enjoy it. I'm hoping there's an extended edition, maybe. Warner Brothers, are you hearing me? Well, extended edition, I would love that. Seriously, I am so about Wonder Woman right now. You could put her, I don't know, put her on some like, motor oil, and I would buy that. Like, I'm wearing my Wonder Woman T-shirt. Guys, I cannot sing this movie's praises enough. I loved it. You feel inspired and, just so hopeful. So, I can't say anything more than that. Hope you guys go out, see this movie, enjoy it. If you do, or even if you don't, come back, talk to me, put some comments out there. Let me know what you guys thought, because I would love to hear from you. Um, Also, let's maybe check in with Harvey. Harvey, what did you think of the movie? I'm sorry, I haven't really asked you your opinion recently. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, you are definitely in the Wonder Woman mode. Yes, that is hot. I like that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. We might be doing another video where we break it down even more because there's so much to talk about with this film. Until then, hope you guys have a good weekend, good day, whatever is going on in your life, and we will see you later. All right, thank you. Bye.